And some will have dreams, and some will see visions. Whoa, whoa, and some will have dreams, and some will see visions.
Shango Doyin Marcus Akinlana. I'm from New Orleans. I was raised mostly in Washington, D.C., but also partially in New Orleans. And I also did many years in the city of Chicago, where I went to school and came to maturity as an artist. The theme for the mural was generally set by the Arts Garage, which was founded by Artsolutely and the Mural Arts Program of Philadelphia. Between Artsolutely and possibly Kathy Harris, the director of community murals, and I'm not sure who else, they already knew they wanted a kind of like a tribute to the arts. So then I came, was brought in to do the project, and we held a community theme planning meeting with the cross-section of community residents and also some of the arts administrators at the Mural Arts Program. And they helped me to flesh out this project called Artsolutely Awesome North Philly, yeah. The title, you gotta sing it, you can't say it. So, I started with the initial concept of a tribute to the arts of Philadelphia. But then from there, infused it with the history and some of the freedom struggles of this community that the people in the theme planning committee exposed me to. So it kind of has a dual theme. One is a tribute to the arts and the role that can play in our society. And two, it shows you some of the social struggles for justice and equality and culture, cultural acceptance that has gone on in this area. And it has not only great artists, but it also has activists, social activists included in the mural. And artists who were both artists and social activists. That's John Coltrane blowing air into a bowl, a hot boiling vat of fire. This community was devastated by the riots in the 60s, 1967. But this fire having a mural this time, I want it to be a fire of building. A fire of building from within, like what's happening here at the Arts Garage. From people that live here and want to see this community rise, love this community. On the other side is an African blacksmith with a bellows feeding the fire that created fire, which is under this African water drum. There's a feather for the indigenous people who cut the trails around here before anybody else. I believe you pronounce their name Lenape, but they are the first Americans, the indigenous people, The woman in the bottle is Emily Zeckwer. She comes from one of the first families of arts here in Philadelphia. Her father was the founder of the Academy of Music here in Philadelphia, right? The chef, Milton Taylor, he represents the tradition that was developed here by ex-slaves and freedmen of catering in Philadelphia. And he himself was one of the first prominent black chefs known in this area, right from this neighborhood, and he still lives here to this date. The Metropolitan Opera House is there, which of course is on Broad Street on the other end of the wall. You have in that there an award-winning vase that Medavo Fuller made during her student years, when she was a student like you. There are a lot of women in the mural. When you study Philadelphia history, you see that women were encouraged to take up this profession of the arts and fine craftswomanship, fine craftspersonship. Back even in the 1800s, which I thought was phenomenal. One of the bells says Freedom 66 on it. That represents the Freedom Theater on Broad Street. Great black theater here in the community with an illustrious history, and it was founded in 1966. On top of the water drum is standing Ola, the founder of the Arts Garage, playing a dun-dun, or the tom-tom. Some people call it a gong-gong, but it's commonly known as the African talking drum. It's a drum used to send messages from village to village. The steam from this water drum, because this water drum is sitting on top of a fire, turns into the hair of Medavo Fuller, one of the great Afrocentric artists of the African American ethnic group. She was a great cultural activist who started her career in the 1800s, and is not known as much as she should be known for her great importance to Afrocentric arts, thought, and black liberation in this country. She is wearing a runaway slave collar, and she has tribal markings, African tribal markings, known in Yoruba as Ilas, on her face, because she was a freedom fighter, a forerunner to the Harlem Renaissance, a forerunner to the civil rights movement. There are 9 bells in the mural. Everybody knows Philly has the famous Freedom Bell. However, that Freedom Bell doesn't seem to be ringing as loud as it should in North Philly. So I put 9 more bells, 9 more Freedom Bells, you could say. Those bells also represent the energy of the Orisha or Yah, who is the Orisha of change, who rules over change and transformation in a lot of instances. Told that I was going to have some of the best Mural Arts Programs assistants to help me get this project done, since it was going to be a difficult project because it's a big wall and it had to be done in a short order of time. And that's exactly what happened. I did have fantastic young assistants working with me. I had Theodore Harris, I had Diana Gonzalez, I had a gentleman who wasn't working with MAP, but he came out and volunteered and was so responsible and powerful in his leadership, and his name is Greg Thomas. I asked could he be hired. He's a community resident, and he was hired. I had Kayla Bailey, who also was a community resident that came out and volunteered, and she was also hired. I had Kian Wynn, and I had Gabe Tiberino. So I had great professional artists and 2 community members who weren't professional artists, but were fantastic assistants.